Alright, so I wasn't expecting to make a video like this, but here we are. So you probably already heard about the new scan system that Costco is going to implement at the door at every Costco location in the US. And it seems like Canada is doing this as well, although it might be coming in a little bit later during the year. But I posted a short on this channel about that, and I mean, I knew it was gonna get attention, but it got a little bit more than I expected, which it's fine, really. But I've been, I like reading the comments. I like answering to the comments, and there's just some stuff that I would like to talk about. I'd like to clear because I feel like I'm just responding to the same questions and comments, and like people are not reading these, so I. Not that I expect them to watch this video, but I'm gonna answer anyway. Um, so just a couple of things beforehand. With stuff like this, we as employees, like, it's not like we have managers or supervisors running around telling everybody, like, hey, this is happening this day at this time for this reason and whatever, or because of this. Typically, I mean, sure, I actually got notified by a manager, but normally these types of situations it gets sent out in like an email to like department managers, and then the managers are responsible for letting the employees know. Sometimes all they do is the corporate offices will send an email to the managers, like the warehouse managers, and then all they do is print out the email and then they post it right by our where we scan to clock in and clock out, and then we as employees are the ones responsible for reading all of the stuff that's on the wall, right? So, yeah, and like I admit, there's been times where I don't even read it, or I'm like super late to the party, and I'm like, oh wait, when did this happen? And then my coworkers are telling me, yeah, it's on the bulletin board. Like, do you not see it? And I'm like, no, I guess I don't look at that very often. But yeah, so we don't always just know when or why exactly things are happening. They just tell us this is happening. These are the new rules. Apply. Basically, it's kind of like how they say. Now, not so robotic, but you know what I mean. I hope. Um, so with the membership stuff, Costco, since they opened in the 80s, it's always been membership based. It hasn't always been as expensive as it is now. Not that I think that's expensive, because honestly, $5 a month, $60 a year for the basic membership is really not that much. Um, I think it's probably one of the cheapest memberships of anything that you can get. Cheaper than a gym membership, cheaper than any like streaming subscription. Um, because what's Apple, like $6, $7? So yeah, it's really not that expensive. At least I don't think so. Um, so Costco implements the self checkout, and it works, and they start putting it in all of these different Costco's. But then what's happening, and I knew this was going to happen. I think everybody knew this was going to happen, but people start using other people's cards to check out their items. So people are like still sneaking in, and they go and they do shopping with a friend's card, the parent's card, or sometimes it's probably not even somebody they know. Like they just found a card and they're like, I'm gonna use this. And it's funny because you would think, well, if Costco's membership based and you always have to show your card at the door, then why isn't that like the stopping, like what's keeping people from coming in, right? And I mean, I've worked at the door a few times, to help out, and it's just crazy how like when people come in, they really just flash their card. Sometimes, and I kid you not, they would just flash me their wallet as if that was enough proof. And I stop them. I'm like, hey, sorry, like I didn't see your card. Can you show it to me? And then people just get angry so fast. And it's like you've been a Costco member for a while. You know how this works. Like, is it really that hard to just pull out your membership card and show it to us? And I guess it is. So, I don't know. I mean, tell me your thoughts, but I've never really thought that was a big deal. Uh, Even before I worked at Costco, I got a Costco membership before I worked at Costco, and I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, I get to show a card to go into an exclusive store, and maybe I was just this dumb teenager, but but yeah. So Costco is trying to control the crowd that comes in because so many times people will sneak in. They show somebody else's card at the door. Like, we have so many people coming in, they're like, okay, like, we're just counting how many members are coming in, and these people go grab all of their stuff, and they get to the register where we actually get to see the card, the person, the name, everything, and we can look at the person shopping. And it's like, okay, well, this is a membership store, and the card, if you look at your card on the front, it says non-transferable. When you sign the contract for the membership, it also says you're not going to share this with anyone. You're literally signing on this. So then we have to turn people away. And so by this point, you've wasted your time shopping around the store just to get denied at the door. Also, that means that now we as employees need to take care of the cart. Putting stuff back is nothing out of the normal. We typically have a section by the registrar called the go backs section, where we put all the stuff that gets returned, and then we have a few employees that are um, designated to go and return the stuff. When when situations like this happen, and the non-member has a lot of cold items, those cold items need to get put back like as quickly as possible, because Costco tries to avoid letting any of this fresh food go to waste. So this is one reason why when you return food, like frozen food, fresh food, whatever, those items don't go back on the shelf. They get thrown away. In case you didn't know, but it's because of the same reason. Like, we always check the temperature on the food, and if it's still cold, then we try to return it. Sometimes it's not cold, and we unfortunately have to throw it away. So Costco wants to avoid this. I want to avoid. I hated when I had to, like, return all of these cold items, and sometimes I would find things that are like supposed to be really cold and they're really warm. I hate finding things when I'm like walking through the aisles and I see cold items just placed, in the middle of I don't know, cleaning supplies, and I'm like, why is this chicken here? Like, it shouldn't be. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like what we're trying to do now. Is we tried it last year with the self checkout, where they were checking your cards to make sure that you are actually the member, and it kind of worked. But again, it just, we get yelled at so much that I don't know. I guess we just kind of let it go sometimes, or we just hope that maybe not as many people are doing it anymore, and therefore not as many people are like actually getting through. At my location, we still have somebody that checks memberships. I don't know how they're doing in other locations. I I don't know. Maybe they're more strict in your location, or maybe they're not as strict in your location. And again, I'm talking about Northwest USA. So I don't know what they're doing in the East Coast. I don't know what they're doing in Canada. I don't know what they're doing in Mexico. I don't know what they're doing in any of the other Costco's. But the rule is Costco universal. Like, it should be at all Costco's, not just a couple of Costco's here or there. Because if it was, then what's stopping you from just driving 30 more minutes and going to a different Costco where they're not doing the same rule, right? So now we have this new scanner system coming into place. I think there's a few Costco's that already have it, and then most of them will be getting it this month, and the last little batch of Costco's will be getting it. It's in September, as far as I know. Uh, so I'm curious to know, like, if you have it in your Costco, like, where are you located? And if you don't have it, where are you located? Like, I'm just curious. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but um, so my thoughts on why it works or doesn't. So I think it's a good idea. I think we've been pushed to do this because, again, as an employee, I've been there 16 years, right? And just seeing all the people that take advantage of the membership, take advantage of the way we just let them through. Like Costco has been lenient, and then we have employees that are more strict, and so then we think, oh man, like this employee kind of sucks because they're not being nice to us because I have somebody else's membership and I can't shop with it. And then there's other employees that are like, I don't have the energy to deal with this. I'm just gonna let you through and whatever. And that's causing a problem when we have cashiers and assistants and supervisors that are all kind of like approaching the situation differently. And so one way to fix this and to make sure that Costco is equal across all platforms, I guess, is to stop it at the door. And clearly, having an employee just counting memberships is not enough because typically, at least at the Costco's where I've worked, it's usually older people that work at the door. So, and we're not allowed to chase you anyway. So if you like walk in and just run into the store, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're not gonna go and tackle you, right? And if we have 20 people coming in and one sneaks in, I don't know. It just makes it really hard. Having the scanners on there and like now you have to like scan to go in. They can see your picture. We can make sure that it's you. We can explain to you the rules. Now there's two employees, if I remember correctly. So there's gonna be two people at the door rather instead of one. So that's gonna help us keep control in the warehouse. I don't know if there's a different way to put this, but it just makes it so that we know that the people coming in when they do their shopping, it's really them, and we don't have to turn them away, and then we don't have to have those hard conversations with you when you're trying to check out after you've spent 30 minutes an hour shopping, and then it's like, hey, you know what? You can't shop unless you buy a membership. So I think it's a good idea. Not that I want it to happen, but again, I just feel like we've been pushed to this point where we just have to be more strict with the membership rules because that's what they've always been. So now we just have to ensure, hey, this is a memberships only warehouse. It's always been a memberships only warehouse, and you need to have your membership to come in. Plus, and I'm gonna get this into in a little bit, but if anybody could just come in with anybody's membership, then what's the point of having a membership in the first place? Like if you have so many people that are paying for their membership, then it's kind of an insult to them, to you who pays for a membership, if anybody could just grab any card and then go in. So why wouldn't you just do that, right? So again, it's just kind of like a way of keeping control. So some cons of this is, and I can already hear it, is just people are going to be angry. It's going to be a lot to deal with. We dealt with this last year when we had the employees at self checkout. Um, Even in optical, like now we have to be a little bit more strict as well. Like I used to be a little bit more lenient with family members when they bring in their kids, their brother, their parents, and they're like, hey, like he wants to get glasses. It's my membership. And I'm like, well, technically you're not supposed to, but let's just do it. But we've had to be more strict with it, and it sucks. I honestly don't like having to turn people away, but we have to because again, it makes it unfair for the people that actually pay for the membership. So yeah, there's I think that would be a pretty big con. Is I guess it's a little bit more selfish because I feel like it's just going to be kind of hard on the employees to have to deal with all of the angry people. Um, Another con that I don't really think it's a con, but it's like turning people away. Like it doesn't look good on Costco. Um, but also, I just can't help but think like it's not that I want this to be like I don't want us to be this strict store, but again, it feels like people are taking advantage of us, and yeah, I think we have to do what we have to do. I guess if I yeah, thinking about it, I think it's unfortunate, but it has to happen. But we'll see how it works, right? Like some things get tested out at Costco before they put it in all Costco's, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I've seen things go back to normal. Can't think of any right now, but I feel like there was some oh, so kids running in like teenagers. So some Costco's are close to like high schools and colleges, and they would come into the store all of the time just to get their food, like lunch and stuff like that. And I always thought that was like super cool. It was awesome. And then I guess there was like a TikTok trend where they would stay overnight and then they would just like film the warehouse. And I mean that's it's trespassing, right? Um so then some Costco's, I don't know if it was all of them, but I think most of them stopped allowing like teenagers, like high schoolers and stuff like that, from coming in, even if they were just going for food, because sometimes there were so many that they just couldn't stop them or keep track of all of them, and then they would just sneak in, right? And they would stay the night, and so they're like, you know what, no more. A few months later, the Costco that I was working in just started letting them in again. And I think there's only one Costco in the area that doesn't allow them to do that as of right now. But I feel like that's one of those things where they're like, these kids are fine. Like, just let them in. Like, whatever. So that's an example. Okay. So also, I'm going off script. I have no script for this. I have some bullet points and I'm just going over them real quick. And yeah. Anyway, so ways to bypass this. And I'm getting this from comments, and I'm going to tell you as an employee, like things that you can do to come in to a Costco without a membership. So if you're coming to do an eye exam, the eye exam does not require a membership card because the eye doctors that work at Costco are not part of Costco. So they don't require a membership for you to get an eye exam. If you're buying things from Costco, that's a different story. You do need a Costco membership to buy things. Uh, and I'm gonna have to get into this one in a different video. I actually think I made a video about Costco stuff and what things you can buy and you can't buy. So go look at the optical uh, videos. But yeah, um, another way is going to pharmacy. Uh, it is true, and I get this in the comments a lot. Like pharmacy, you don't need a membership to buy your drugs at Costco. And then the other one is alcohol. So we don't sell alcohol at my Costco. So I always forget about this one. But yeah, if you're gonna go buy alcohol, I guess there's some laws in some states. I don't know if it's a nationwide thing. In some states, you can't um, charge for a membership for alcohol purchases. So if you're going in for alcohol, you don't need that card. Uh, and the other way to get in, I think so far right now, and this might be changing, is if you're going to the food court. Um, some food courts are starting to make sure that you are a member to buy things. I personally don't like this idea at all, but it's where Costco's headed. And again, I understand why they're doing it because so many people lie. It just comes down to that. People lie just to get in. Uh, so they'll say that they're going to the food court or they're going to the pharmacy or alcohol or whatever, and they come in and then they still try to go shopping and they're still gonna get denied. So I just don't understand the point of that, but people are gonna do it. So I think that's another reason why Costco's getting a little bit more strict with the memberships. So um I'm gonna go. So there's so many comments on that video. I'm gonna go over just like some highlighted comments and questions, and I'm gonna give you the best answer that I can. So, well, yeah, okay. So prescriptions, alcohol, eye exams. Yes. So you don't need a membership to do those. Um, so if you that's all you're getting, you're totally fine. You can still go into the store without a membership. With the eye exams, okay, let's get into this real quick. If you're getting an eye exam, you don't need the membership. If you're buying contacts, if you're buying glasses, you need a membership. If it's for your spouse, they need a membership. If it's for your kids, as far as we're, like the way we're doing it right now is if your kids are under the age required to get a membership, they're fine. We know that I mean the age is 16 right now. Um so with the managers that I've worked with, if they're under the member's insurance, we'll still take them. But as soon as they're kicked out of the insurance, which I believe is 26 years old, then they need to have their own membership. And if they're 22 and they have their own insurance, 23 and they have their own insurance, they need to have their own membership because the membership needs to match the insurance's name. So it's yeah, optical's a little messy right now with that, but stuff is happening. I'll have to give you an update on optical stuff in the next couple of months. So gift cards. Oh, that's another one. Gift cards. So yeah, technically, if you have a gift card and you don't have a membership, you're still able to come in. Um, I don't know yet how that's changing because my Costco hasn't had the scanner yet, so we haven't been updated on what how that will be managed. But as of right now, and as far as I know, if you have a gift card, you can still come in. Um, I feel like it really just kind of it's gonna depend on the warehouse. Like the management of that warehouse will determine how they handle that stuff. So I'm sorry. I really wish I had a concrete answer for you for that one, but as of right now, I would say yeah, you're fine to go in with a gift card. Okay. What if I'm shopping for my parents? So I got a lot of comments like this where it's like, well, my parents are disabled, so I do all of their shopping for them, or like, I take care of them and whatever. And my response to a lot of these is, well, if they're not doing their shopping and you are, then wouldn't it make sense for you to have the membership and not them, since they don't come into Costco anyway? So that would be my answer. And again, memberships hold to people. Um, so talk about who's going to be doing the shopping. I mean, if it's your dad and you, or your mom and you, because the other person is disabled or just can't afford to like go out or anything like that, then why have that person on the membership? Why not just you have it and then you can do the shopping? So that I hope that I don't think it sounds mean. People make it seem like it's super mean to be like, "Well, get your own membership." But I had a really mean comment just talking about uh like can't wait for the day that I have to take care of my parents and or what about my kids when I'm old enough and will they take care of me? And I'm like, I take care of my parents and they have a membership and I have a membership, like, and I do the shopping for them sometimes. So I I I think people are uh mm, making a bigger deal out of this than it should be. When I think about the Costco membership, it's $60 again for the Gold Star. Obviously, I'm an advocate for the executive, but I'm not gonna push every single person to get the executive membership. I agree that there are situations where the Gold Star is enough. And again, $60, $5 a month, it it's not that much. The savings that you get from shopping there will be better than or greater than $60. I know it because I shop there. Um, so I don't think that that's a good excuse to like not like this idea. Um, I got a lot of comments saying like, "Wow, who pays to go shop or who pays to pay more or something like that?" And kind of like piggybacking off of like my previous answer is like, well, you get discounted items. Sure, not all of them are going to be cheap. There's definitely going to be expensive stuff at Costco. But overall, I think that there's enough items that you can buy for so much cheaper than you would anywhere else that I think it's worth it. You can buy electronics for cheaper. You can buy food can be cheaper, not always, but a lot of food will be cheaper when you buy like dry food in bulk. and you compare it to buying it individually at other stores, and when you're talking about like quality of the item, you are saving money. Uh, I did the math at least in my region, and it makes sense. Um, so what if I need to get a membership? Am I gonna like? Do I need to do it online? No. I mean, you can, but no. I like just talk, like communicate, like yeah. If you want to get a membership, uh, you need to go to the membership desk, which is by the exit. So surely, if you tell the person at the door, "Hey, I'm not a member, but I want to be a member," they'll tell you, "Awesome, go to the membership desk. They'll help you there." I don't know. Again, I think that's kind of a silly question. What if I just want food? So again, it seems like a lot of people just come in for the food. And as far as I know, you should still be able to do that. But I also know that some Costco's are actually asking for the membership cards. So I think this just kind of depends on your location. My location, we still get people without memberships getting food. We haven't been asked to present a card or scan a card or anything like that, but it might change. Keep you updated. I got over 50 comments that said, "I don't care. Who cares?" Uh, I don't know. I feel like if you don't care, then why even comment? Like, well, you could just skip. I feel like a lot of people care. I think employees care. I think people that pay for their memberships care. And I feel like people that now feel like they can't show up without a membership care because they're mad. Uh, anyway, just thought that was kind of a funny comment. There's a lot of comments that say slippery slope to fascism, communism, Nazis. I don't know if I can say that word. I can say that word, right? Um, I don't know what the YouTube rules are these days, um, they're usually like applying this to like the rules that we have, and I I always think it's funny that we get compared to like communists and fascists. Uh, and yeah, like, I think there's a comment that was like, it's really looking like Costco's doing the whole like papers please. And I'm like, we're not the only store that requires memberships. Gyms require memberships, and I think that's quite one of my biggest arguments when it comes to like people complaining about having to present a membership is that you go to any gym, at least all of the gyms that I've ever been to, you always have to go and present your card. They look at your picture and they said, "Yep, you're good." In the gym that I go to like 3 to 5 times a week. People know my face, but I still need to present it. I don't just walk in and I'm like, "What's up?" and I just like go because what if my membership expired? What if I canceled my membership and I'm just now sneaking in? So my point is, I've never had an issue presenting a membership at a gym, and I know a lot of these people do not have an issue presenting their gym membership at the gym every time they go and work out. So how is it different to have to show your membership every time you go work out versus having to present your membership every time you go shop at Costco? Like I understand that working out and shopping are two different things, but oh shoot, I forgot the word. The principle of showing your membership is the same, right? So if you're still here, sorry, this is a long video. Well, like, what am I missing? Like, am I really wrong thinking that they're pretty similar as far as like having to present the membership with your picture on it to go into a place? Or like, am I wrong? And if I am, like, please tell me. Like, don't just say like, "Yeah, you're wrong." Like, tell me, like, explain it to me because I don't see it, but I want to. I want to understand your point of view as well. Uh, but yeah, I still think it's funny. So everyone in the house needs a card, but that's too much. So I think people are failing to understand Costco memberships hold two people. Most households are the parents and the kids. Uh, so I mean, husband and wife usually have it. Again, if the husband and wife go shopping together all the time, always, then give one of the cards to your kids. Like transfer that membership, right? So you still have the two memberships, and then because the parents are always shopping together, it shouldn't matter. They're always going to be able to get in, and then the kid can now come in on their own whenever they do shopping for their parents, or if they want to shop for themselves. Like I don't understand like the need to make this big of a deal. And I did see a comment that was like, well, we're a family of seven and we rotate and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, if you have a family of seven, again, one, you could always just have a designated two shoppers that always go to Costco. Or if you have a family of seven, then you're probably not super broke that maybe you can get two memberships. I don't know. And again, maybe I'm just not thinking this. Like I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, but obviously I don't have that big of a family. But if you have a family of seven, wouldn't you be able to afford $120 a year? I don't know. Like maybe I am wrong. I don't know. But I don't think it's that complicated. I think people just like to whine a lot about this. So um, okay, and then yeah, I get a lot of comments from members that are like, well, if I pay for my membership, they should pay too, and this is a good thing. I agree. I think when people start to shop at Costco or any membership store with somebody else's membership, it's kind of an insult to the people that do buy their own membership and follow the rules. Um, yeah, household membership. We have a lot of people in the family, so same thing. I understand that there's big families, but each membership has two people, and I don't, I just don't understand how they're making it so hard for themselves. Like when my brother and I lived with my parents, they had their membership. My brother and I tried to shop at Costco with my dad's card, and they said no to us. They're like, no, 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 like he needs to be here. And we're like, oh, well, that sucks. And we're like, all right, well, whatever. And so what we did is my brother and I got a membership and we split it halfsies. So we only got the gold star. So I paid $30 or it's $25 at the time. So I paid $25. He paid $25, and we're set. No biggie. Yeah, everybody in my household had a membership, and it was two memberships in one household, and I think that's totally fine. Um, so yeah, and then okay, there's one more comment that I wanna like. I'm actually gonna read the comment, and it says, "My mom would often ask me to go to Costco if I'm already doing something near, and when I was near when I was too young to have the card. We simply use a gift card, but instead of getting new ones when the value runs out, I just bring her card but flash the gift card." So, one, this is actually pretty smart. Like you flash a gift card that doesn't have any value on it, you make the person at the door think, "Oh, they have a gift card, so they're going to use that to shop." They go and get their stuff, and then when they get to the register, they would scan the parents' card. Um, and that way nobody suspects anything. So one, they shouldn't have been able to do that at the register, but I can see how that would work. And two, this is literally the reason why they're doing the scanning thing at the door now. It's because too many people got smart with it and they kept sneaking in. Um, and this situation brings me right back to, if your mom's not doing the shopping and you are, then you get the card. If both of your parents have the card and they always go shopping together and sometimes you go shopping, then have them give you one of the memberships. Um, Another thing is, so sometimes they'll be like, well, what if they're sick for like the 1 week, 2 weeks, or whatever, and like, can I not go shopping? And I, I can only think of, if I can go shopping at this store, it's not like it's the only store where certain things are, right? Like everything you buy at Costco, you can buy basically anywhere else. Sure, it might be a little bit more expensive, but I think in those situations, again, I feel like you're victimizing yourself a little bit. Like, sure, there are things that I prefer getting at Costco, but if I didn't have a card, my parents do, and they wanted me to go shop at Costco, and I can't get in, I wouldn't just be like, well, that's it. No more Costco items for you. No, I if they needed medicine, if they wanted like a chicken soup or something, I would just go buy it somewhere else. And yeah, sure, I'm gonna spend $2 more, but I don't think it's like an excuse to be like, let me in for free. Um, and it just kind of goes back to like people lie. Like you're gonna go in and you're gonna be like, I am shopping for my parents who are sick. I need to come in. It's just this one time, and maybe we feel, you know, empathy, sympathy towards you, and we're like, all right, go ahead, like go take care of your parents. Like that's a good thing to do. But then the next person says the same thing, and the next person says like we don't know. Like a lot of people do lie about these things, and if we're letting one person in, then we need to let everybody in. We also don't keep track of the people that are using somebody else's card. So who's to say that they're not just doing that every single time? Maybe they go to a different Costco like every 2 weeks, and they rotate through Costco's, and so we don't remember them. Like I'm not gonna remember the same person that I saw in the morning that I'm gonna see at night. Um, so it sucks. I'm not saying that there aren't real people that really are just trying to take care of their family, but when people again take advantage of the system, there's not a lot we can do. So, um, all right. Well, just to finish up this video, this is the longest video I've ever made. It could have been. I wanted to do a live stream and I didn't because I knew that I was gonna have a lot to talk about, and I knew that people would be live commenting, and that would take a very long time. Uh, but just to finish, because I don't know. I just feel like I need to let you know. Uh, my shorts, like YouTube shorts, they typically get more views and sometimes more comments than my long form videos. Um, and in videos like this where they just get thousands of comments, I sometimes it's a little hard to tell who's a real person and who's a bot. I didn't think there would be bots, but I can't help but suspect that there are like bot comments. So I really truly do my best to like answer to as many comments as I can, but it gets exhausting. There's too many comments that I cannot reply to them. So, uh, but some of these comments are so funny, and I I like responding with a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of sass. Like I need to have fun with the comments because if I didn't, I would be a very angry person. I couldn't be angry. I don't know. If you're watching this and I replied to you and it might have been maybe a bit of a sassy response, like I'm sorry, kind of. um, I just I like having fun with the comments. Some of them are just ridiculous enough that I'm gonna respond with the same energy and sense of ridiculousness that you've given me. So and there are comments that are so genuine and I will respond as genuine as I can, whether they're happy or angry comments. Like if there truly is a sort of misunderstanding, I don't want to do that. I really want to like answer your question as earnestly as possible. So just hope you know that. Anyway, that is it for today's video. This was very long. If you've been in with me this whole time, thank you. This is almost like a podcast, I guess, almost 40 minutes. But I appreciate you. I thank you so much for watching my videos, for your support, for your comments. If you've commented, this channel is growing a lot faster than I thought it would. And it's awesome. Like I just want to be able to have an open communication like employee to member. All right, well, if you like this video, like it, Ask me all the questions in the comment section below. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. I gotta go to work. All right, bye.